We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Dallas Cowboys and the Houston Texans. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
They'll send a receiver in motion left. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there.
But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. Now it's Tannehill. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Again at 32 that time.
Things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for first and 10. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
The Texans at 13-2 on the year. Charles, they were losers last time out. What do you think they need to do differently here?
Well, I don't think it needs to be as drastic as burning up last week's game tape or not watching it, but the attitude has to be what's done is done. Let's move on. Put that one behind them, galvanize themselves, and go forward and get a win in this one.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on second down and 11.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
Tannehill now to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is third down. Tannehill. Able to haul it in is Kittle.
And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 23. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to throw one over his head as this game progresses.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Tannehill. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 12-yard line. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. And defensively, these corners struggled last week. They're struggling again here early on the opening drive.
And you know that was not unnoticed on tape. So when they saw their struggle last week, guaranteed that went right into the game plan. Attack them early, see if they're going to play any better, and if not, you keep the pressure on them until things change.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Back to throw, Tannehill. Touchdown, Texans. George Kittle with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Texans will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. This is caught. It's Brown. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Rashawn Gary, the man to bring him down.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 30. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Off of play action, it's Watson sliding out of the pocket. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
It sort of looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson.
He sets to fire deep.
And, it's incomplete. Oh, it would have been 6 points, but somehow he couldn't rein it in.
Well, every point certainly counts at this stage of the game. But after driving so far, you absolutely know they want to finish it with 6 instead of 3.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now it's Watson. He's going to let it go again. And this is going to be intercepted.
And the Texans are going to have it here at their own 15. So the interception there. And, Charles, I'd imagine that's something you can maybe live with in December, but not come January.
And I love how you make the distinction there. You're talking about regular season versus the postseason, the playoffs. Because these guys, they've already clinched a playoff spot, but they know, looking ahead, when they get into the postseason, they've got to take better care of the football because turnovers in that situation, they really become magnified.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And this game, CD, some are calling it the game of the year. Others are saying, hey, this is the Super Bowl preview. And as we speak, these are the top seeds in each conference. How do you think these two teams approach this one internally?
And I think that we both subscribe to the theory that it is the game of the year so far, and it could be a Super Bowl preview. I know outwardly both teams are going to tell us, hey, it's 1 of 16. We're going to do what we do. Let's just go ahead and play our game. But I think we both know that internally, they're saying we've got to establish we're the team to beat in case we see them again.
Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. action. It's Tannehill. He'll buy some time right. This one caught by Kittle. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the first down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. They'll fake it. Now Tannehill. The same target, same result. It's Kittle. He'll get it inside the 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A big play on the catch and run, covering 34 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. A great effort there. Becoming just the second player with 30 touchdowns in a single year. And the Texans have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it, and when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
Watson's throw taken in by Hawkinson here. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Here we go.
On first down, it's Stokes. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. From the 50, it's Watson. Looking deep downfield. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there. 50 yards. And the Cowboys are back within a score. They were already down 2 scores early. They needed something to try to stem that tide, and that certainly qualifies. A big play to get them in the end zone.
It qualifies indeed because, let's face it, they don't get something done on this drive, turn it back over, this game could be 88 and out the gate early.
What? 88 and out the gate?
Yeah.
What's that?
Well, listen, I used to hear my old man talk about it. Usually meant that thing's done.
Oh, well, now that they got the touchdown, it's not 88 and out the gate. We still got a good game going ahead of us. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2 resulted in a touchdown as well. Now they'll try to make it 3 for 3.
Yeah, and you know, they told us all week that this was the plan and this is what they wanted to execute, but did they really believe it would happen this well, this efficiently? I know they'll take it, and afterwards they'll say, there was never a doubt in our minds we were going to be successful in this one.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Three down. Hey, check right.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Tannehill. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The corner blitz pays off there as they sack him for a loss of 5.
This offensive line has struggled. In fact, when we sat down with the coach, he said it's been in tatters lately. They allowed 6 sacks in their last game. Just gave up another one right there.
In tatters, so it sounds a little bit like this right now.
Exactly. It's like that paper being ripped. And right now, they've got to find a way to get it back together.
Throw left side is complete on the diving effort. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year. And it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Well, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Slot man moves right. Watson on 1st down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
As expected, he's gone to him several times in this game, but that's the first time one has slipped from his grasp. I'll bet he goes back to him, though. He's an excellent player.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Watson. That's swung out wide to Sanders. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
We've hit the 2-minute mark in the second quarter, 14-7. And looking at Houston defensively, they've got a dime set. 6 DBs on third. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. The Texans send the punter out as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Watson off play action. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Watson rolling to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. Oh, he's going to be brought down there in the field of play. And the clock will run, no timeouts. They will not have the chance to bring out the field goal unit.
Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lane. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Brown. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Out of the gun, Watson. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. And the Texans are going to take over here up near the 40.
I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team is struggling to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his second incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And they'll send the tight end in motion left. To throw on 2nd and 10. Tannehill. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. DJ Jones collapses the pocket and drops him for a loss of 3. I'm sure a lot of time was spent in the locker room, Charles, with talking with his defense about setting a tone here in the third quarter when you're down on the scoreboard. A sack like that, maybe that can get him going.
Yeah, you have to believe exactly what you just said, that they got together and said, let's be some change agents here. Let's go ahead and turn things around. Let's be the force that gets us going here in the second half and puts us in a position to find a way to win the game.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he gets this only to the 41. Not near enough for the first. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a fourth down. The Texans send the punter out as he'll punt it away for the second time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Here comes another drive from this unit, and Charles, they're coming off a costly mistake on the last possession, an interception in a game that is very close right. And now Watson throws another interception. And the Texans are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays like this from him. I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys of his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on third down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Let's go. 28. You got nothing. Play. You got nothing. No.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it and pick up first downs.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. They'll try the air now with Tannehill. He finds the speedster Ross. That's complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys 39. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's first and 10 at the 39-yard line.
He's crossing. He's checking crack. He's checking.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
77 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Another good run there. He's been good all season long. I don't know if he's going to win that MVP award, but just to be in the discussion, obviously that means he's had a great run.
The raw numbers put him in the discussion. Can he carry his team to enough victories? Can he put them in a spot where we say to ourselves, well, an MVP carries his team to the playoffs? That's what he's going to need in order to get that award.
On first down, it's Tannehill. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. Touchdown! George Kittle with his second touchdown of the afternoon as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And it's now 21-7.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Ed one told me once, when we're having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Back to throw, Watson. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now Austin.
The danger of a punt that good, a 16-yard return. And the Texans will take over.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, the fact you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
Hey, check motion man. Put your hands on him. Get hands on motion man.
To throw on second down is Tannehill. Escaping the pressure right. And he will slide down with a good gain. Tannehill able to take off and pick up the first as well.
At this point, this offense feels like they could just roll out anything, and it would work. They are certainly in no hurry for this one to end. Not when they can rack up some stats and continue to add to their lead.
Play action, Tannehill. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. He'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down.
He only gave them an instant to react. It was a classic case of if you blink, you missed him. Off of the line and to the quarterback in just a couple of seconds. Running back only had a moment to react and attempt to throw a block.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down.
49, guys. Mike, 49. We're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
Another try after the first down sack. Tannehill. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 35. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Well, normally you might say start running the football. You've got the lead here in the fourth quarter, but the way that they've passed it with such success, I don't know, maybe keep throwing it.
Yeah, I think you brought up something that goes against conventional wisdom, right? In this stage of the game, you would think you would switch to a running attack, but you're exactly right. They've thrown it so well throughout the game, and trusting this quarterback, I think he continued to do so.
And he can only manage to get a couple. Second and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they
rush coming, and he's taken down. They brought him in off the corner, and he gets in to drop him for a loss of 4.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And he's in for the score, and his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good.
And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
The Cowboys on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Watson. Going for the deep ball. And his pass is intercepted for the 14th today. And the Texans are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. If they had designs of kind of wiggling their way back into this one, that hurts their chances right there.
They had to put it mildly. Look at the lead. Look at the deficit. Trying to make a play downfield. Everyone seeking to be somewhat the hero. Didn't turn out that way at all, and you're exactly right. It's going to take a lot for them to have a chance to win this one now.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth-quarter lead.
Oh, look at this. Middle of the field, a breakaway. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his.
McPherson now for the extra point.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And my goodness, another interception.
And the Texans are going to take possession of the football. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair.
Throwing now, Tannehill. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up second.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Tannehill's throw is taken in by Waddle.
And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. 17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
McPherson on for the point after.
Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken in at the 3. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. The slot man in motion right. They'll run on 1st down. Stokes. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. 8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Stokes, and he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll fake the handoff. Now Watson. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side, and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And he'll throw this one away. I don't think he's out of the pocket, no. Here comes the flag.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. Here's Watson. He finds his man, complete. It's Hale. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 4th down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask, he's got a man, complete. And now we're going to get a timeout. Somewhat pointlessly called with 3 seconds to go in a game that's already been decided.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
One last throw here for Watson. They'll roll him out right. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.